in the field. A lot of errors in that game yesterday.
Game one and yesterday, Aggies got off to a great start, put up 2 runs in the first, but the defense let them down once again. And oftentimes as a pitching staff, you're only as good as the defense behind you. Aggies continue to struggle on the defensive side of the ball.
In the other dugout, the Towson Tigers continue to do what they've done all season, hitting the ball all over the park. They scored 11 runs in that second inning, and that was all they needed.
Definitely. Towson does not need any help offensively, taking advantage of all the mistakes on the defensive side of the ball from A&T. If the Aggies can clean that up, they hope to get a win today.
Yeah, A&T still looking for that first conference win of the season. We'll have the first pitch coming your way next on Flo College. Back into the Lady Aggie softball complex in Greensboro, North Carolina, as we get you ready for the first pitch. Getting the start on the mound today for the Aggies, it'll be Joy Barkheimer, the senior. She's 3-10 on the season, 8.42 ERA. In 72 2/3 innings, she has 56 strikeouts and 56 walks on the season. Tyra Robinson, the freshman, will be back behind the plate again today for the Aggies, and it'll be a similar lineup for Towson. Brianna Wright, Kara Bonner, and Kristen Tolan. First 3 batters up here for the Tigers in the top of the first.
And for A&T, we mentioned it in the pre-show, defense. Defense. You have to field cleanly. Do not give Towson more opportunities than they already are going to present for themselves. You don't want to help your opponent beat you. So A&T can shore up that defense, get a solid pitching performance from Joey Barkheimer. They'll give themselves a chance to win this ball game.
Brianna Wright will lead off. She's hitting .284 on the season, 4 home runs, 16 RBI, has 6 doubles and 3 triples as well. Dangerous bat at the top of the order for the Towson Tigers, a junior from Frederick, Maryland, transfer from Lipscomb.
Talked about the hitting prowess as a ball club for Towson. Not a bad bat in the lineup.
So Barkheimer will start things off. First pitch misses high and outside for ball 1.
First inning for the Aggies got off to a great start yesterday. Didn't allow a run, scored 2 runs of their own in the bottom of the first. And then the bottom fell out in the second inning.
That second inning, 11 runs with 2 outs for the Towson Tigers. It ended up being all they needed to win the game 11-2 in 5 innings. Barkheimer misses low and in for ball 2. And the Aggies 0-10 in conference play. That win for Towson yesterday got them to 500 in conference play and on the season. Low again from Barkheimer, and it's a 3-0 count.
For A&T, we mentioned it, I think, ad nauseum. 11-2 ball game yesterday, but only 2 of those were earned runs, so 9 unearned runs for Towson, and with 2 outs in the second inning.
It was a avalanche of epic proportions for sure, and I believe Towson had 15 batters come to the plate in that second inning, as Wright will draw the leadoff walk, and the leadoff runner is aboard here for the Tigers. Kara Bonner, who's a dangerous bat as well, will step to the plate, hitting around 300 on the season, hitting .286 with 24 RBI and 8 doubles. Steps in with that wide batting stance, catches the outside corner there to Barkheimer for strike 1. You don't see too many batters where their front foot is actually on that back line when you look at the batter's box.
Whatever works for you. Yeah. And Bonner, pretty good hitter for the Tigers.
0-1 misses low. Count will even up at 1-1.
You mentioned the walks for Barkheimer coming into the ball game. 56 walks Going to have to limit those free bases today. For A&T, Towson takes advantage of any mistakes.
Here's a 1-1 offering. This one fouled back out of play. And the count will go to 1-2.
Barkheimer went up in the zone on that pitch. Bonner chasing, fouls it away.
Barkheimer comes set for the 1-2. Just off the plate. Count will even up 2-2.
A little wide there. Barkheimer wanted that call. Yesterday's strike zone is not today's strike zone.
Different, same set of umpires, but a different one behind the plate today. Here's the 2-2. That one slapped towards the hole. Will make it through into right field. Right will hold up at second. It's runners on first and second. And no outs here for the Towson Tigers to start things off.
Trouble early in the ball game for Barkheimer as Bonner sees a pitch that she can work with, shoots it past first and second. And they have a big bat of Kristen Tolan coming up.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of dangerous bats, Tolan drove in 3 runs yesterday, 4 home runs, 25 RBI on the season, also 8 doubles and 4 triples. Big hack there, and falls behind the count 0-1, hitting .356 on the season.
That's a why not swing from Tolan. Trying to Towson ahead early.
That one lifted back out towards right center field. Ranging over to make the sliding catch out there in center field is Williams. And it's 1 away. Heads up base running there from Brianna Wright. She tags up and advances to third.
Cottrell Williams in the outfield made several nice catches in that center field position in game 1 yesterday. Saw Cottrell prior to the game here. You see on the replay on her high horse with the slide. It makes it look easy.
This will bring Grace Franzik to the plate. Franzik take on the outside corner there for strike 1. Franzik hitting .312 on the season, 2 home runs, 22 RBI for the junior from Bluebell, Pennsylvania.
Is that where they make Bluebell ice cream?
I was kind of wondering that, but I believe that's made in Texas. This is outside. The count evens up 1-1. And runners on the corners, 1 out. And we get timeout call here.
Tyra Robinson behind the plate for A&T. Got to be sure-handed to avoid Brianna Wright coming from third.
1-2 count as that one caught the inside corner. Yeah, getting the thumbs up that Bluebell ice cream is made in Texas. Thought I remembered that from my time living out in that part of the country. That one fouled out of play, and the count 1-2.
Brenham, Texas.
Yep.
Who would have thunk it? Except for the people who live in Brenham, Texas.
They know it, I guarantee you. There's the 1-2. This is high and outside. Count evens up 2-2. That's got to be a common question, though, if you tell somebody you're from Bluebell, Pennsylvania.
Excellent ice cream. Top notch. The elite of the ice cream making business. Pricey, though.
Here's the 2-2. That one slapped back up the middle. Will make it through into right center field. Wright will come in to score. The runner from first will advance to third. And runners on the corners now with 1 out. So 1-0 Towson as they draw first blood. Franzik drives in the RBI. Her 23rd of the season.
Pitch up in the zone. Franzik pulls it past the second baseman, Avery Evans. The Tigers strike first.
So Kanisi, the center fielder, now will step in here for the Tigers. And runners on the corners, 1 out. And that one misses outside for ball 1.
Kanisi had a pretty good game yesterday for Towson as well. Scored a couple runs, 2 walks, and patient at the plate.
Pitch misses high and outside. Count now 2-0. Kanisi hitting .280 on the season. She also has 4 home runs, Feels like half the lineup has 4 home runs for this Towson team.
Not a lot of breaks in the lineup if you're a pitching staff for A&T versus Towson.
Check swing there for Canisi. Went around for strike 1 on the rise pitch.
This time, Barkheimer not playing around, just throwing it as hard as she can. Canisi couldn't hold up.
Barkheimer looks in for the 2-1. This is high for ball 3. 3-1 count now to Canisi.
Joey Barkheimer's going to have to make some adjustments.
It feels like
the strike zone is a little bit smaller today.
It feels like every pitch has been up to Canisi so far in this at bat. Barkheimer with the 3-1. That trend continues for ball 4, and its bases loaded now for the Tigers with a 1 out.
Barkheimer right now trying to find her rhythm. Right now in a jam for sure. Bags full of Tigers, only 1 out.
Taylor Broadbent, the sophomore from Jefferson, Maryland, step in with the bases juiced. Already a 1-0 lead for Towson. She takes up high for ball 1.
Broadband, another one of those 300-plus hitters for Towson. Doesn't have 4 home runs, only 2. But excellent bat for the Tigers.
That might actually be because this is only her 19th start of the season compared to a lot of the lineup. So somebody who's kind of come in the lineup, I guess, after the season got underway. We'll get our first mound visit as they'll try to settle Barkheimer down a little bit as she's struggling to find the strike zone.
Early on in this ball game, as a pitcher, Joey Barkheimer, you're going to have to understand what the strike zone is. Right now you're not getting those calls up high, so, whatever pitch you're comfortable with, you're going to have to try to find that level of consistency. These batters from Towson are really good. You're not going to be able to fool them much. If you make your pitches, you try to get out of this, mitigating the damage. Only 1 run right now, but Tigers on the verge of plating more.
And not only, we mentioned how good of a hitting team this Towson team is. 293.
That's pretty good.
Current team batting average. Their on base percentage as a team is 374.
Not that bad. The opposite of being you're only as good offensively as the amount of base runners you get on. You can hit solo homers, but that only counts as 1. You get multiple base runners. And that's when you put up those big numbers like Towson did yesterday, scoring 11 runs.
Here's a 1-0. Barkheimer high and outside again. It's a 2-0 count. Barkheimer trying to rub some dirt on the hand, see if she can get better grip on the ball maybe. Catches the outside corner there for strike 1.
You don't want to make a mistake. It's a Broadbent. Potentially clear the bases with 1 swing. But nowhere to put her.
Here's a 2-1. Swing and a miss there for strike 2. The count evens up.
Time Barkheimer blows 1 past Broadbent. That's been her best pitch so far.
Here's a 2-2. And just outside for ball 3.
Not going to get that call in today's ball game on that outside corner if you're a pitcher. So you have to adjust accordingly.
And here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Big strikeout for Barkheimer there. Keeps the bases loaded with 2 outs now.
Really big strikeout there for Joey Barkheimer. Even with all the base runners so far for Towson, only 1 run has been plated. So you can potentially get out of here. Not too much damage for A&T.
Madison Peters hitting .295 on the season, 3 home runs, 15 RBI. She fouls this one off, back out of play to the right side. 0-1 count.
Peters trying to come through clutch, one of those timely hits that we talk about in softball.
0-1, just outside. Count will even up 1-1. Here's the 1-1. This is high. It's now a 2-1 count. Here to Peters.
Barkheimer trying to show Peters different levels. Get out of here with a strikeout. Get out of the inning.
2-1 on the outside corner. 2-2 count.
Nice off speed there by Joey Barkheimer. She's been throwing that pitch a lot more this season. First time we've seen it this afternoon.
Seems like she's starting to figure out the strike zone a little bit here. Here's the 2-2, lifted down the right field line, ranging over and able to make the grab out in right field is Williams. And that'll end the threat here in the top of the first. Aggies able to limit the damage, but Towson does take the lead 1-0 as we move to the bottom of the first inning next on Flo College.
Why did you decide to come to A&T? How does it make you feel when people say that this is a second-class institution, academically?
A second class?
You are the first black woman in the history of this country to build a billion-dollar company.
I do not honor the woman because it was a journey traveled by many along with me.
It's easy to forget that before they were known as heroes, they were young people just like all of you.
The Aggie softball complex in Greensboro. Damian Banks, Ryan Stone here with you as we move into the bottom of the first inning. First time getting a look at the freshman Olivia Trombley on the mound for the Tigers. She's 4-3 on the season, 61 innings pitched, 27 strikeouts, 20 walks, 6.34 ERA. Behind the plate for her is Peters. Tyra Robinson will step in to lead off for the Aggies.
That was a good job by Joey Barkheimer to get out of the top of the first with only allowing one run. Looked like it's going to be trouble for the Aggies.
And gives pitching coach Naisha Arnold a lot of credit. Whatever she said when she went out on to the mound with the bases loaded worked. Catches the outside corner there. And it's now a 0-2 count, or 1-1 count to Robinson.
Robinson has pretty much taken over the catcher duties as a freshman for A&T.
Pops this one up into foul territory. That one's going to stay in play, and ranging over from first and able to make the grab there is Tolan, and it's one away.
Tolan calling off her teammates to get the first out. Not only a good bat, but good in the field as well.
Williams will step in here. Nobody on, one out. In the bottom of the first. Squares the bunt, does Williams, but bunts it foul. That was actually what we saw the Aggies do to start the game yesterday. They laid down 2 or 3 bunts in a row and ended up being able to bring those 2 runs in.
Leah Williams is one of those players. Pitcher as well, but excellent speed for the sophomore.
So Williams behind in the count, 0-1, nobody on, one out. Williams slaps one back up the middle. That makes it through into center field. A base hit for Williams and a runner on now with 1 out.
This time Williams squares up the bat, but pokes one through the middle. And now A&T got a base runner. You can be aggressive. Aaliyah Williams has excellent speed.
Latrell Williams, the junior, will step in, hitting .347, 2 home runs, 20 RBIs. He takes strike 1. Also 6 triples on the season for Williams.
Latrell Williams was red hot at one point in the season. Has cooled down just a bit, still batting .347 in the season.
Takes on the outside corner there for strike 2. So an 0-2 count now to Williams.
Aaliyah Williams swiped second on the pitch. Now Latrell Williams' opportunity, if you can hit something in the gap and bring home Williams, tie this ball game for A&T.
So Williams in scoring position after the steal. That's her 8th stolen base of the season. She's still yet to get caught. 0-2 count now to Latrell Williams. Takes outside for ball 1.
Olivia Trombley, 61 innings pitched on the season, doesn't walk a ton of batters, only 20 walks so far this season. So Latrell Williams, you know she's eventually going to give you something that you can put into play.
Fouls that one out of play to the left side as the count will stay at 1-2. Runner in scoring position here for the Aggies with 1 out. The wind picks up a little bit. That one slapped toward third, and Wright makes the diving catch there from third. It's 2 away.
Right place at the right time for Brianna Wright. She didn't have to move much. Still made a really good play there on the out.
If you
slaps this one.
If you let that one hit the dirt, it maybe takes a funny hop on you. So good heads-up play by Wright to catch that ball in the air.
Yeah, if it hits the dirt, Latrell Williams is going to be safe at first. Williams has great speed as well.
This one chopped towards third. Speaking of funny hops, it skips over the third baseman's head into left field. The run will come around to score. The ball was misplayed out in left field. Play at third and going to be out, they'll say. But the Aggies do get in the tying run. And I think they're going to say, wait, what are they? They're sending her back to second. I think maybe interference. Is that the call, maybe?
See this replay chopped down the third base line. And Leah Williams is going to score easily. Gets past Elizabeth Yaskowitz. Now Mears was
I don't know if
out on the throw, but I'm not sure what that call is.
She's pointing back to second, so I don't know if she was saying she got interfered with maybe there.
It's a possibility.
Mears drives in the tying run. We're tied at 1. That one does hit the dirt. Play over at first, though, and Barkheimer is retired. Nice recovery there by Bonner after that one hit the dirt and able to get the out there. We are tied at 1 at the end of 1. We'll move to the top of the second inning next here on Flow College.
Vaughn, why did you decide to come to A&T? How does it make you feel when people say that this is a second-class institution, academically?
A second class?
You are the first black woman in the history of this country to build a billion-dollar company.
I do not honor the woman because it was a journey traveled by many along with me.
It's easy to forget that before they were known as heroes, they were young people just like all of you.
Top of the second inning here at the Aggie Softball Complex in Greensboro. Damian Banks, Ryan Stone here with you. We got a good one so far, tied up at 1 after Ayanna Mears driving in the game-tying run with that double there in the bottom of the first inning. This is where things fell apart, and there was the interference on that angle right there for her trying to go to third. So that's how she ended up going back to second.
Mears drove in both of A&T's run game 1 yesterday with a 2-run double. So Mears still swinging a hot bat for the Aggies. square things up at 1.
So Mint will step in, number 8 hitter in the order for Towson to lead things off. The junior. Misses inside there, does Barkheimer for ball 1.
Barkheimer wanted that call. Still trying to consistently see what the strike zone is going to be on these pitches.
There's the 1-0. That's inside. And now a 2-0 count. This was the inning where it all got away from the Aggies yesterday. Towson was able to score 11 runs in the second inning. This one hit hard down the third baseline and foul. Meant just missing the bag that time. Count goes to 2-1.
Alyssa Mint had a pretty good ball game yesterday. 3 RBIs, 2 hits.
Barkheimer with the 2-1. This one dribbled off her foot, unfortunately. And the count will even up 2-2.
And that one's going to sting for Alyssa Mint. It'll take some time to get herself together.
Mint, the junior from Virginia Beach.
See Coach Lisa Costello coming over to check on her.
Definitely not somebody that the Tigers want to lose. Starting shortstop. Really good in the field defensively.
And also speed on the bags as well for Alyssa Mint. Let's see if she's going to be able to continue.
Looks like she will. A 2-2 count. Barkheimer, this one lifted back out towards shallow right field. Williams ranging over, able to make the routine grab, and it's 1 away.
Mint still limping, you can see. Still affecting her on the trot back to the dugout. A good pitch by Barkheimer. And again, the defense behind you. Sometimes as a pitcher, you're only as good as the defense behind you. Secured the catch in right field from Aaliyah Williams.
Elizabeth Yaskowitz, the number 9 hitter in the order, steps in now. Nobody on, 1 out. Yaskowitz will take high and inside there.
For A&T, you mentioned the second inning yesterday. It happened with 2 outs.
Yeah.
And, you know, the onslaught had started on an error defensively, and it was just a snowball effect. I think if A&T can get over that mental hurdle, and, you know, get through these early innings, try to get this into the latter innings with the game still being close to give yourself a chance to win.
Yaskowitz bunts that one, but it's foul. So the count now goes to 1-2.
The team as good as Towson is hitting-wise, they don't need any help to get on base.
So there's still a 1-2 count. Nobody on, 1 out here, top of the second inning. There's the 1-2 from Barkheimer. That one slapped back in the middle. Barkheimer puts her glove on it, fires over, and in time. Whew. Yaskowitz showing off the speed there and making that interesting, but Barkheimer able to get it over there in time.
And Yaskowitz blazing down that first base line. Barkheimer has to make an adjustment after bobbling it just a bit, but fires it over for the out.
So Brianna Wright will step in. She led off the game with a walk and then came around to score. Barkheimer, this is inside there for ball 1.
And Barkheimer, I noticed in this inning, going inside a lot more with those pitches, not getting the calls on the outside of the plate in the top of the first. taking a different route here at the top of the second.
Here's the 1-0. Fouls that one back. Count evens up 1-1. Nobody on, 2 outs here. Top of the second. It's been a much different inning so far than the first inning was, as Towson loaded up the bases with 1 out, but couldn't do anything with it. This one popped up into the infield. Ranging over is Barkheimer from the mound to make the grab. And that will finish up the top of the second inning. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Aggies. They'll come back to the plate looking to take their first lead of the day. Next on Float College. Top of the second inning here at the Aggie Softball Complex in Greensboro. Game tied up at 1. Damian Banks, Ryan Stone here with you as we move in to the second inning. And Destiny Sims will step in to lead off here for the Aggies as she takes strike 1 from Trombley.
Good inning defensively for A&T, now trying to back it up at the plate.
This is outside there, and the count evens up 1-1 to Sims, who hitting .308 on the season with 7 RBI is the sophomore.
Destiny Sims, another one of those Aggies with excellent speed. She can get on base, can do some damage.
Falls behind in the count as she swings and misses there. And the count now 1-2. This is outside. Count will even up 2-2.
See the big sunflower that Olivia Trombley has in her hair. Cut the grass yesterday. I leave the house today, and now all of a sudden sunflowers everywhere in the yard. I'm like, they weren't there yesterday when I cut the grass. Like, what type of
full count
magician type stuff is this? Like, what are they? I'm telling you, I cut the grass yesterday at 6 o'clock. No sunflowers.
That one lifted out into left field. That will drop in. Sims gets the leadoff base hit here for the Aggies. And the leadoff runner is aboard.
Yeah, I'll get off subject sometimes. But I saw the sunflower in Trombley's
Thought you were going for a color theme there with all the yellow in this game.
No, I cut the grass at 7 o'clock. This morning it was sunflowers. And like, where did they come from? I didn't see them. They weren't there when I cut the grass yesterday.
That's a sign of a healthy yard, I think. Fouls off there with the bunt attempt.
Green grass. I got something for him, though, this evening.
James fouls off the bunt attempt, falls behind in the count 0-1.
Yeah, I got something for him. Let me get back on topic.
Squares and puts down another bunt, fouls it off again, and it's now an 0-2 count.
J.D. James unable to lay down that bunt now. So we have to try to advance Sims over and get on with the base hit. Try to avoid a double play.
Here's the 0-2, and gets her looking for strike 3. A little bit off the plate, it looked like, but home plate umpire Jordan Slay liked what he saw.
Again, strike zones can vary.
And now Jamari Moss step to the plate.
So you'll have to make that adjustment as a hitter for A&T.
Moss hitting 246, hits one into right field that will get through the gap. Sims on her way to third, and it's runners on the corners with one out here for the Aggies.
Big hit for Jamari Moss. First pitch swinging. Shoots it into right field. Moves Destiny Sims over to third, and there's life in Lady Aggie Softball Complex. Good piece of hitting there from Jamari Moss, not trying to do too much with it. With the speed of Sims, she takes third.
Moss, who didn't play yesterday, swings at the first pitch and gets a base knock. Trombley's pitch, this one lifted back out towards right field. That will drop in. A run will come in to score, and the Aggies take the lead. Trinity Glover able to put the Aggies in the lead 2-1.
First pitch swinging for Trinity Glover, and she gets just enough of it, but it drops in the shallow right.
I think the umpires are going to have a conversation here about Jamari Moss. She made contact there with the first baseman, Tolan, but I don't know that you can say it was interference. I don't know if we have the angle on that on the replay, but.
Well, upon contact, Moss was taken off at first, and then she kind of stopped because she didn't know if it was going to be caught.
So I'm not sure. I don't know that you can really call it interference. I don't know if we have the angle on it. This one, you can kind of see a little bit there from the back angle, and there.
I mean, that ball was far enough into the right field that I don't think that Tolan was going to be able to make it out there to make the catch.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So runners on first and second and one out. And the Aggies now with the lead, 2-1, here in the bottom of the second inning. Now back to the top of the order with Tyra Robinson.
Amazing what happens if you don't give up 11 in an inning for A&T. You find yourselves in a ball game.
This pitch catches the outside corner there for strike one. There's the 0-1. This one lifted by Robinson out to right field and making the catch. And no tag-up threat there. As Broadbent makes the grab, and it's 2 away.
That's a big out for Olivia Trombley. After giving up the lead, trying to regain her focus to get out of the inning, get the ball back to her offense.
Leah Williams will step in now, hitting .333 on the season. Swings at the first one, sends it towards third, charging in right, able to glove it, but doesn't have a play, and the Aggies now have the bases loaded here in the bottom of the second inning.
A lot of speed from Aaliyah Williams. A great play at third from Brianna Wright, but didn't want a chance to throw. You make that throw to first, the Aggies possibly score another run.
So bases loaded, 2 outs here for Cottrell Williams. Big opportunity. Williams fouls this one back into the net. Count goes to 0-1.
Bunch of first pitch swinging in this inning for A&T. Now you're going to see head coach Lisa Costello coming out to the mound having a conversation.
And see if that is going to be a change or if they're going to, this is just a strategy meeting.
I'm leaning on the strategy side, trying to break up this momentum that A&T has been building. And this is a big at-bat. Cottrell Williams, the way that she's been swinging the bat this season, she puts one in the gap. Aggies are going to plate all 3 of these base runners, and Towns will really have to fight for this win today.
So bases loaded, 2 outs, and an 0-1 count to Williams. Trombley on the outside corner for strike 2.
Good pitch there by Trombley. Guess the meeting worked, and now Cottrell Williams is going to have to be defensive at the plate.
Here's the 0-2. This one hit foul to the third base side. Williams keeps herself alive, but the count's still 0-2.
Cottrell Williams just waiting for Trombley to make a mistake.
And I think, not sure. home plate umpire having a conversation there with Coach Costello. I was trying to overhear what it was about, but couldn't quite tell. I don't know if that's a delay warning or exactly what that was. He wrote it down. Still an 0-2 count to Williams with the bases loaded and 2 outs for the Aggies in the bottom of the second. Williams takes outside for ball 1.
Trombley trying to get Cottrell Williams to chase something out of the zone. Good eye there.
Here's the 1-2. And just off the plate. Count evens up 2-2.
And Cottrell Williams very brave there taking that pitch. Now we have another meeting. Trombley and Madison Peters in the infield, and I think this is all strategy.
Yeah,
too.
Second one of the at-bat.
I mean, this is a big at-bat. You're already trailing 2-1. If Williams can clear these bags, then you're fighting an uphill battle if you're Towson, not only on the field, but you got the crowd behind you as well for A&T.
A little bit of a keeping the pressure on Cottrell Williams here. Here's the 2-2. Williams takes down low for ball 3. Not chasing anything. Good discipline from Williams.
A good eye there by Cottrell Williams. That's something that she's improved upon so much this season is good plate discipline.
Here's the 3-2. Williams fouls it off.
And here's the thing. Trombley has to make pitches. If you don't, you walk in another run for A&T. So cat and mouse for sure between pitcher and batter.
Here's the 3-2. This is high and in, and Williams comes back to draw the walk, and that will bring in another run for the Aggies and make it 3-1.
Excellent at bat there by Cottrell Williams. 0-2 count to draw the walk, and an RBI, not too bad for the junior from Waxhaw, North Carolina.
Now Ayanna Mears will step in. Mears drove in the first run of the game. She'll take inside and low for ball 1.
Yeah, Ayanna Mears had a good game at the plate yesterday, driving in those 2 runs. Did tweak the right knee a bit, rounding third during the game.
1-0. Mears will take inside on the inner half for strike 1.
Mears has power as well. Just missed the home run on that 2-run double in game 1 yesterday.
Literally hit the top rung on the fence out there in center field. 1-1. Mears down the third baseline, foul. If Jose Gonzalez Jr., the head coach for the Aggies, a little credit there. Still moving pretty well.
He's a baseball player by trade in his day.
1-2 count. There's a 1-2. Fouled off again. Continuing to keep herself alive is Mears.
It's a chance for Trombley to get out of the inning. Only allowing these 2 runs, but if Mears, a big shot can break this game wide open.
1-2. Check swing. That one sent the Towson dugout ducking a little.
Saved by the net, for sure.
1-2 count. Bases still juiced, full of Aggies here in the bottom of the second. Here's the 1-2. Takes it on the inside corner for strike 3, and Mears goes down looking.
That's a great pitch there by Olivia Trombley under pressure. Had to have it and delivered.
Aggies score 2 runs here in the bottom of the second. They lead 3-1 as we move to the top of the third next on Flow College. A lot of fans out in attendance here at the Aggie Softball Complex on this beautiful spring Saturday. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Little wind, but not as windy as it was yesterday here in Greensboro. Aggies leading 3-1 here in the top of the third inning. Who are those two guys down here right in front of the fence there?
I know one is long hair, don't care. That's me. Well, the hair just a flowing. Thank you, God.
No Lil Wayne shout out there?
Yeah,
No.
and this is the thing. I've been trimming my hair for years. I mean, it will probably be longer than this. I mean, this is about as far as I can go. I'll see how far Joey Barkheimer can go now with the 2-run lead. Starting to find her footing in the last inning in that pitcher circle. Now when you got a lead, you can pitch with a little bit more juice for Barkheimer.
0-2 count here to Bonner. Takes outside there for ball 1. 1-2 count to Bonner. Bonner is 1 for 1 on the day so far. Barkheimer with the 1-2. Got her swinging there for strike 3. Barkheimer's second strikeout of the afternoon. It's 1-0.
Outstanding pitch there from Joey Barkheimer. Low and away, tailing away from the lefty. Bonner gets her swinging.
Now Toland will step in. Toland 0 for 1 on the day. Leads this Towson team in hitting, 356. Takes on the inside corner there for strike 1. Barkheimer really doing a good job of locating her pitches ever since that mound visit in the top of the first inning.
Well, I think the conversation was, hey, you're not going to get those pitches on the outside of the corner. Let's start working the inside of the plate.
That one up a little. Count evens up 1-1.
For Joey Barkheimer, you look at the ERA at 8.42. But if she gets off to good starts, she normally pitches well.
There's the 1-1. Low and in for ball 2. 2-1 count.
And Toland, look at this lineup. Pretty good bat for the Tigers, so you can't make a mistake to her.
2-1. This one lifted back out towards left field. Battling the sun, and Sims able to make the routine grab, and it's 2 away here in the top of the third.
Toland late on that one just a bit, lifted it to left. Destiny Sims. No Destiny Sims is in left field for A&T when you see the red hair. You know it.
It stands out.
I call it brick red hair. Signature of Destiny Sims.
So bring Frantic to the plate. She's 1 for 1 on the day. Drove in the lone run for the Tigers. Catches the inside corner for strike 1. 0-1
Nice
count.
pitch. Same pitch that she did not get a strike on to Bonner. This time is okay.
They tell me umpires are human, so.
They're only human after all.
Misses low and outside, and the count evens up 1-1.
For Barkheimer on a team with a lot of youngsters, one of the few seniors is consistently in a lineup either with the bat or in the pitcher circle for A&T.
Misses outside. Count now 2-1 to Frantic. And nobody on, 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. A&T looking for their first conference win of the season. Here's the 2-1. That one slapped foul to the third base side. Count evens up at 2-2 now to Frantic.
You mentioned the Aggies looking for their first conference win, but Towson, they're in the middle of the pack right now. CAA standings at 5-5. You got a bunch of teams bunched in there. UNC Wilmington, Towson, Stony Brook, Monmouth. You got 3 teams at the top, Campbell, Delaware, and Elon at 8-2.
This one slapped towards second, fielded cleanly there by Evans, and she'll get the put out. It's another 3 up, 3 down, top of the third inning for Barkheimer, and the Aggies still leading 3-1, coming back to the plate in the bottom of the third inning. Next on Flow College.
There are 6,000 universities across America. Why should you choose North Carolina A&T? We're America's largest and best historically black university, and have been for 9 years. We graduate more African American students in engineering, journalism, liberal arts, and agriculture than any other university. Period. Our graduates of all races and ethnicities earn higher salaries fresh out of school than all but one other UNC system campus. And 96% of our alumni say they return to A&T and do it all over again if given the chance. Can you feel the pride? You will. North Carolina A&T. Always doing, never done.
Bottom of the third inning here at the Aggie Softball Complex in Greensboro. A&T leading 3-1. That one down the third baseline, just foul for Barkheimer.
And Barkheimer pitching well so far. A couple of inches away from a sure base hit there. Olivia Trombley now pitching from behind, cannot allow the Aggies any more runs.
That one fouled back. Count goes to 0-2. Our producer, OJ, forgot there was a fence in front of him there.
And my guy, OJ, he's been doing great this series. It's the first one, OJ.
The duck knocked the headset off there for a 0-2 count. It happens to the best of us. That one lifted out towards shallow left and will drop in for Barkheimer. Base hit. And the Aggies have the leadoff batter on. And to bring Destiny Sims to the plate.
Funny what momentum can do for you.
Yes.
A&T looked like in that first inning, like, okay, here we go again, but they found a way to limit the damage to only one run, tied it up when they came to the plate, have since taken the lead. Barkheimer settled in that pitcher circle, and now the bats are starting to heat up.
Sims squares the bunt, but fouls it off. 0-1 count from Trombley to Sims.
For Joey Barkheimer, batting has dipped a bit this season as her pitching responsibilities have gone into overdrive. She's by far thrown the most innings for A&T this season, but can still swing the bat. Joey Barkheimer.
0-2 count. Misses outside for ball one. 1-2 count. This one lifted by Sims down the left field line, ranging over. Oh, diving effort, just couldn't quite get there. Could the left fielder Jaskowitz.
Jaskowitz racing over there, full extension. Couldn't come up with the grab, but you go back and watch film after ball games, I'm sure that effort will be applauded by the coaching staff for Towson.
She may have got herself on SportsCenter top 10 if she had got that one.
She made that play for sure.
1-2 count. Still no outs. Sims slaps it towards third. Right field's clean. She'll get the lead runner at second. No play at first, but one away for the Tigers.
Sims, really good speed, not going to get her at first, so you take the sure out at second with Barkheimer.
This will bring Jayden James to the plate. James 0 for 1 on the day. James lifts one out towards center field. Going back, it's over the head and off the wall. Sims on her way to third. The throw not in time. It's a double for Jayden James, and the Aggies have two runners in scoring position with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd.
Nice piece of hitting there from Jaden James. Lifting one in the center. First pitch swinging. Gets over the head of the center fielder, and with the speed of Destiny Sims, you know 2 bases are forthcoming.
I think we're going to get a pitching change here for Towson. So Trombley's day is going to end after 2+ innings on the mound, and they will bring in a replacement. It'll be Cadence Williams, the sophomore, that will take over on the mound here for the Tigers.
Trombley, not a bad outing, but not her best. And I think that Lisa Costello wants to secure this series win today. So with you're trailing by 2 runs already, Trombley being touched up here on the verge of giving up more runs. Want to make this change.
Now, Williams has been Towson's most consistent pitcher. 2-3 record, but a 2.88 ERA. In 24 1/3 innings, she has 22 strikeouts and 17 walks on the season. Her opponent batting average is just .260. So she's coming in here to try to shut down the Aggie bats and keep it a 3-1 game here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Towson senses the moment here in this ball game. Cannot allow a ton of more runs. Barkheimer settled in. So far, Aggies had made any defensive errors so far, which helped out Towson a ton there in game 1 yesterday. So make a pitching change, switch up, try to stop this Aggie momentum.
Jamari Moss, who's 1 for 1 on the day, will step in now with 2 runners in scoring position. Moss swung at the first pitch in her first at bat. She'll take here on the outside corner for strike 1.
And Moss also has power in that bat. Williams makes a mistake. Really turned this game heavily in the Aggies' favor.
Swing and a miss there from Moss, and the count quickly goes to 0-2.
And that was a home run swing there from Jamari Moss. Good pitch from Cadence Williams.
Williams working quickly out in the circle. 0-2, that one fouled back. That was in OJ's direction again. That time he did not react.
Ice water in his veins. A steely reserve.
0-2 count here to Moss. Runners on second and third, 1 out. 0-2, that one chopped back up the middle, is gonna make it through into center field. 2 runs will come in and score for the Aggies, and Jamari Moss has given A&T a 4-run cushion in the bottom of the 3rd.
Jamari Moss, another upperclassman for the Aggies, not trying to do too much, chops this one back up the middle as Mintz can't get to it. 1 Aggie scores, 2 Aggie scores. A&T, a completely different ball club in game 2.
Jamari Moss now with 15 RBI on the season following that base hit. So still a runner on first, 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. That pitch is going to get away from the catcher. Wild pitch there from Williams, and that will allow Moss to move into scoring position, and that takes away the double play threat.
Now Williams trying to get her focus, giving up that big hit to Moss, allowing A&T to score 2 more runs. But then tough for Madison Peters to get to that one.
Takes high and outside there for ball 1.
Trinity Glover as well, popping that bat. Had a homer on the road in that series versus UNC Wilmington for A&T.
Glover pops one up, back behind home plate. Diving effort, but she couldn't quite hold on to it.
Now that would have been a Sports Center top play as well, as Peters tracked it, tried to lay out for it, had it, but on the fall to the ground, like it's coming out of the glove.
And you saw there for a second when the ball popped up in the air, it took her a second staying in position to locate where the ball was, and that might have been what cost her from making that catch.
Gives Glover another opportunity here. The runner in scoring position.
2-2 count. here to Glover, who's 1 for 1 on the day, takes outside for ball 3. So a full count now to Glover.
And you see Jamari Moss, big hit for the Aggies. His momentum is completely towards North Carolina A&T.
Here's a 3-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. Williams gets the punch out, and it's 2 away now here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Good gotta have it pitch there from Cadence Williams. Goes up top on Glover and gets the K.
So Tyra Robinson will step in. She's 0 for 2 on the day. Takes outside there for strike 1.
Williams, you mentioned best ERA on the team. Having a really good season for Towson. Trying to come in here and stop this scoring barrage for A&T here.
Say Robinson did not come around on that pitch, so the count will even up at 1-1. Robinson high again. Ball 2, 2-1 count.
If you're A&T, this game is working out in your favor primarily. Hadn't made a bunch of mistakes on defense. Also seeing pitches well and getting good bats on balls.
3-1 count. Now to Robinson. Here's the 3-1. Robinson fouls it back, and the count goes full.
Tyler Robinson late on that pitch. A chance for Towson to get out of the inning here.
Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Williams with back-to-back strikeouts gets the Tigers out of the bottom of the 3rd inning, but the Aggies add 2 more runs in the bottom of the 3rd. They now lead 5-1 as we move to the top of the 4th inning next on Float. Don't know why they're showing that guy, but that's I'm just playing. That's our producer OJ that we were referring to during the previous bottom half of the 3rd inning there as we move into the top of the 4th inning. Barkheimer still on the mound here for the Aggies, has pitched strong after a little bit of a rocky start in the 1st inning.
Barkheimer settled into this ball game, and now offense starting to pick up. Aggies have 9 hits so far in this ball game, so good hitting, pitching, settling in, and the defense has been mistake-free thus far.
Kanisi falls behind in the count 0-1. That'll even it up 1-1. Kanisi walked her first time at the plate. One of the 2 walks that Barkheimer has issued this afternoon. And A&T looking for that first conference win of the year. Foul back there. Count will go to 1-2.
Barkheimer goes up in the zone. Now with the 4-run deficit, you may see these Towson batters starting to press a little bit more. Chasing pitches out of the zone.
Here's the 1-2. Misses just off the plate there as the count will even up 2-2 for Barkheimer. Here's a 2-2. This one lifted by count towards left field. Going back in, it will drop at the base of the wall. Canisi will stroll into second with a leadoff double, and the Tigers are in business in the top of the fourth.
Good piece of hitting there by Isabella Canisi. As Barkheimer leaves one in the zone, the fat part of the plate. Canisi lifts it into left. Sims not able to make a play on it. Stand up double for Isabella Canisi.
And for Canisi, that's her 6th double of the season. Broadbent will step in now. She's 0 for 1 on the day. Takes just off the plate for ball 1.
You can't let up if you're A&T. You got to keep your focus here. Although you built this 4-run lead, Towson very dangerous offensively. Team averaging over 6 runs a game.
1-0, misses up. Count now 2-0. Here to Broadbent. Last couple innings for Barkheimer have been relatively stress-free. And this, now a 3-0 count with a runner on second.
You mentioned relatively stress-free, and felt like Barkheimer was settling in, but with that leadoff double, that wakes you up a little bit. Got to get back to work.
3-0 on the outside corner for strike 1. 3-1 count.
Broadbent taking all the way. As Towson tries to chip away this North Carolina A&T lead.
Here's the 3-1 offering, and misses low for ball 4. And now runners on first and second, and no outs here for the Tigers. And this will bring Peters to the plate.
I'm waiting to see if North Carolina A&T pitching coach Naisha Arnold gonna make a visit out and have a chat with Joey Barkheimer. You see Tyra Robinson out in the circle. It's Madison Peters, another upperclassman for head coach Lisa Costello at Towson. Really good at bat for the Tigers.
Hitting .289 on the season is Peters as she steps in with runners on first and second and no outs here in the top of the fourth. Trying to get the Tigers closer. First pitch from Barkheimer, square into bunt though. There's Peters and puts down a good one. The play at first is in time, but Peters does exactly what she aimed for. She gets the 2 runners into scoring position with just 1 out.
Peters does her job, sacrifices for the team, moves the runners over. Aggies do get the out, but now chance for Alyssa Mint to cut into this Aggies lead here with the big base knock.
Mint hitting .302 on the season. Runners on second and third, 1 out, swings at the first pitch, and this one's popped up back behind home plate. Robinson makes the grab with the mask on, and that's a huge out for Barkheimer.
And Mint upset with herself for swinging at that pitch. And you mentioned a huge out for Joey Barkheimer. Good play by Tyra Robinson to get out of that catcher stance immediately, locate the ball, and make the catch.
Jaskowitz will step in. Runners on second and third now, 2 outs. Dribbles one and picked up at third. Runners will stay put though, so it's bases loaded with 2 outs. So no real damage done there. Jaskowitz gets on. He does take it back to the top of the order here though for the Tigers.
Well, Trinity Glover felt like she could not make the play at first, throwing Jaskowitz out. You make that throw and then
I think she maybe should have just let it go because it might have gone foul.
Yeah, Isabella Canisi would have raced home if you make that throw, so she just ate the ball. Now bases Full of Towson Tigers. 2 outs.
Right will step in, swings at this one, drives it out towards left center. Making the grab is Sims, and the Aggies able to get out of the top of the 4th inning unscathed. Halfway home in this one. The Aggies still in front, 5-1 as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. Next on Flow. Plenty of Towson Tigers making the trip down from Maryland to see the Tigers in action here in Greensboro this weekend. But A&T leading here in the bottom of the 4th, 5-1. It was an 11-2 win yesterday for Towson. So Aaliyah Williams now will step in to lead off for the Aggies. She's 2 for 2 on the day. Williams swinging and fouls that one back. Nice catch by the Towson Tiger fan near the top of the stands.
Lucky son of a gun. I'm not going to get one, man.
Oh, 1 count. Williams and trying to bunt it there. Williams trying to bunt on Williams, but it's fouled off. 0-2 count. Williams with the 0-2 to Williams. This is high. Count goes to 1-2.
Leah Williams. Excellent speed. As we mentioned before, if you can get on base and get another run rally started for the Aggies.
Outside there, and the count evens up 2-2.
Candace Williams in the circle for Towson. She's going to have to pitch well, not allow any more runs, because the way that Towson's offense is operated today have not been consistently effective.
Just outside there on Williams, and now she worked the count full after initially falling behind 0-2. So 3-2. Fouled back there. Count will stay at 3-2.
And Williams staying alive in this at bat.
Diggs back in to await the 3-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Williams gets her 3rd strikeout already.
And Williams understands her assignment, know that she cannot allow any more A&T runs. Even though Joey Barkheimer hadn't pitched A+, she's gotten out of all the jams that she's put herself in this ball game for A&T.
Terrell Williams now steps in. She'll take ball 1 upstairs.
Ton of Williams in this ball game.
Just thinking.
Terrell Williams, Aaliyah Williams, Candace Williams.
Here's the 1-0. That one slapped back up the middle and through into center field. Cottrell Williams gets on here with 1 out. And the Aggies in business here in the bottom of the 4th. And that'll bring Ayanna Mears to the plate, who's 1 for 2 on the day.
Good piece of hitting there for Cottrell Williams. Seeing the pitch, not trying to do too much with it. Finds a spot in that Tiger defense.
This is outside. Count now 1-0. Lifted by Mears, back out towards center. Tracking is Kanisi and able to make the grab.
And wind starting to blow west to east. That one got caught in that gust, and Mears has power. Gets under it just a bit.
Now Barkheimer will step in. Runner on first, 2 outs here, bottom of the 4th. Barkheimer 1 for 2 on the day, takes outside for ball 1.
Barkheimer trying to help her cause at the plate. Scuffled just a bit in that first inning, but found a way to get out of it, only allowing 1 run.
This one fouled off just to our right. Nobody making the grab on that one. 1-1 count.
And I tell those folks in the stands, if you want to catch a foul ball, scared money don't make money. Can't run away from it.
Can't break a hand if you don't try to catch it either, though. 1-1 count. Swing and a miss for strike 2. The throw down to second, not in time. So Williams does get herself into scoring position with 2 outs. Putting a little more pressure on Cadence Williams.
Trell Williams got on her bike. Swiped second base, and now chance for Barkheimer on RBI.
And I don't know what the discussion is here now. Take another look at it, and it's definitely safe.
I'm not sure what the discussion is. Barkheimer didn't impede the throw
I don't know if
of Madison Peters.
I don't know.
That was just a follow-through, normal
Yeah.
follow-through swing by Barkheimer.
They're gonna call her out. Oh, on the swing. Okay, now okay. Okay. So 1-2 count. That's what they were discussing, was the swing, whether she went around or not. 1-2 up high, and they'll say she did go around for strike 3, and that will finish off the bottom of the 4th inning. The Aggies still in front. They lead 5-1, looking for that first conference win of the season as we move to the top of the 5th inning. Next on Flow.
Vaughn, why did you decide to come to A&T? How does it make you feel when people say that this is a second-class institution, academically?
A second class?
You are the first black woman in the history of this country to build a billion-dollar company.
I do not honor the woman because it was a journey traveled by many along with me.
It's easy to forget that before they were known as heroes, they were young people just like all of you.
Top of the 5th inning here at the Aggie Softball Complex in Greensboro. 5-1 lead here for the Aggies in the top of the 5th inning. Trying to close out their first conference win of the season.
And after the start that A&T had, it looked like Towson was going to be business as usual. The Aggies turned it around and got the bats going. Good pitching performance so far from Joey Barkheimer. Defense is held up. All the things that you need if you're A&T to get your first conference win.
Bonner will step in. She's 1 for 2 on the day and around 300 on the season. Misses outside and low. The Aggie faithful behind us thought it was a swing. Umpires say no.
It was close. They have a different vantage point than folks in the stands.
I was telling my baseball broadcast partner for Aggie Baseball, Corey Lima, this a couple weeks ago. That one hit back off the middle, and Bonner's going to reach there. That one went off the leg, I believe, of Barkheimer. So leadoff batter is aboard. I want to know, I would like a blind poll of umpires in college sports, MLB, how many times the umpire actually doesn't see that, isn't actually paying attention to the batter when they're in the field and they get the appeal like that.
I'm going to leave that alone.
I would think.
I say the
I would think
percentage is
answer
not
would be
low.
Pretty high.
Yeah, the percentage is probably not low. Sometimes you zone out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, no, it's human nature, right?
it's like, you know, you're at work and you're zoning out and then you're doing something. I guess it's second nature. You're not really paying attention, but you're doing it. I would hope that it's low, but
I don't think it is, though. 1-1 count from Barkheimer. This is outside. 2-1 count.
up and down the lineup, danger for Towson. Chance for Tolan here to help her ball club.
Tolan chops it foul to the third base side as the count now even up at 2-2. This one driven back up the middle, ranging back, can't make the grab. It's over the head of Williams. The runner from first will go to third. Tolan ends up on second. Bonner easily could have scored there on a pass ball, but elected not to run home. But now two runners in scoring position for Towson with no outs. And now we'll get a mound visit here for the Aggies.
Tolan goes down and gets this one, lifts it just over the head of Cottrell Williams. And you mentioned Bonner, not sure how far that ball caromed away from Trinity Glover there at third. Held up at third, probably could have scored.
And we may get a pitching change here. Looks like, I don't know if she just called in the entire outfield as well or for the discussion, or if they're going to make a pitching change here.
I think it's just a conversation that, hey, we're okay. Still got a 4-run lead. Let's try to limit the damage. May have to concede a run.
So no change. I thought initially she was just calling Destiny Sims in. Didn't realize she had called the entire outfield in for that. But Francis at the plate now, and she is a base hit away from cutting the deficit in half for the Tigers.
Barkheimer's had a couple of these situations in the ball game so far and been able to get out of these jams. Let's see what she can do here.
Catches the outside corner there for strike one.
Been able to induce a couple of pop-ups in the infield. Nothing too deep where a runner can tag and score.
Here's the 0-1. This is outside, and it's a 1-1 count.
I think that's what Barkheimer's looking for here. Let me get an infield pop out, something. Runner Bonner from third can advance home.
Blocked up behind the plate there by Robinson. Nice work.
A good block there by Tyra Robinson. That one gets away. Bonner's probably going to score from third.
So it's a 2-1 count here now to Francis, who's 1 for 2 on the day, hitting .316 on the season. 21 RBI, looking for more. Francis takes, and the count now 3-1. First base is open.
It is open, but then you'll load the bags with no outs. Barkheimer, precarious situation here.
Here's the 3-1. Down in the dirt, blocked up again by Robinson. Ball 4 anyway, and its bases loaded with no outs. And that'll bring Kanisi to the plate, who's 1 for 1 on the day. And she can make this a 2 or even 1-run game with one swing of the bat. I think we're going to get maybe a pinch runner here for the Tigers. They will send in Anaya Troy, junior from Vineland, New Jersey, Delaware transfer. Pinch run for Francis.
Isabella Kanisi has 4 home runs on the season, so if you make the ultimate mistake here for Joey Barkheimer. This ball game is going to be tied.
A lot of pressure here on Barkheimer. No outs, bases loaded, top of the fifth. She has gotten out of a couple bases loaded jams today. First pitch to Kanisi is right there over the heart of the plate for strike one.
And this is upperclassman on upperclassman. Kanisi, the junior, Barkheimer, the senior. So veterans in a big situation here.
Kanisi with 18 RBI on the year. Swings at this one and sends it streaking down the left field line, just foul. 0-2 count though.
That one clears the bags. It stays safe. Barkheimer, chance here to pick up an out.
That one might have sent a chill into Lisa Costello, standing over there at third. Longtime head coach for the Tigers.
Probably seen a ton of those in her time in Towson.
This is outside for ball one. 1-2 count. Barkheimer with a 1-2. Kanisi takes up. And the count evens up at 2-2.
And Costello's not going to swing at anything out of the zone, going to make Barkheimer earn it. Waiting on Barkheimer to leave something over the middle of the plate.
Still no outs here in the top of the fifth. Towson trailing by 4, trying to get closer with the bases loaded. 2-2. Kanisi slaps one back up the middle, through into center field. 1 run will come in to score, make it 2. Play at third. They do get her. So the Aggies do get an out of it as they get the pinch runner Troy out at third. Kanisi drives in 2 runs though and cuts the deficit in half.
A good piece of hitting by Kanisi. That ball was actually on the outside of the plate. She goes, reaches out and gets it, shoots it into center. 2,000 Tigers score. Aggies do get an out at third on the throw.
That out's big because that takes what would have been the tying run off the base pass. Do have a runner in scoring position at second. Kanisi now with 20 RBI on the year after that base hit.
That was a big hit by Isabella Kanisi.
Barkheimer right there for strike one. 1-1 count. To Broadbent.
Still work for Towson to do, so if you're Joey Barkheimer, you know that bases loaded situation is over. Regain your focus here on the batter.
On the outside corner for strike 2.
Good off-speed pitch there from Joey Barkheimer.
Here's the 1-2. Just outside. Ball 2. Broadbent with a little bit of a nervous look at the home plate umpire there before that one was called ball. Two-two count. Runner on second, 1 out. Aggies now leading by 2. This is outside. That one got away from Barkheimer, and the count goes full.
See there, Isabella Kanisi coming through in the clutch for Towson on second. Taylor Broadbent takes the full count.
Time called. Still a 3-2 count. Barkheimer. 3-2, gets her looking for strike 3. Barkheimer with her 3rd strikeout. Robinson with a little bit of a mental lapse there momentarily, thinking it was the 3rd out. Luckily, her and Barkheimer both reacted quickly, realizing the situation, and kept the runner at second.
Tyra Robinson a little bit ahead of herself, thinking the inning is over. No harm, no foul, and that's a big strikeout. Joey Barkheimer.
3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Barkheimer. This will bring Peters to the plate.
Still not out of the woods. It's A&T.
This one lifted by Peters, back out towards left field. It is gone. And it's a tie game here in the top of the 5th. Madison Peters sends one out to left center field, and the Tigers celebrate the tie at home. Peters with her 4th home run of the season.
And Peters, first pitch swinging. Barkheimer leaves it over the fat part of the plate, and Peters 8 deposits it to deep left center. And we're all tied here in Greensboro.
And it looks like Coach Gonzalez is going to make some changes here potentially. So that might be it on the mound for Barkheimer.
Not a bad day for Joey Barkheimer. Pitched well in spots, got into trouble here in the 5th. Almost got out of the inning with the lead, but made the mistake in leaving a pitch in the middle of the zone. Madison Peters made her pay.
So Lauren Hardy is going to take over on the mound for the Aggies. Hardy, 2-2 record on the season, 4.86 ERA, 40 in the 3rd inning. She has 23 strikeouts, but 37 walks on the year.
And this is a tough spot for freshmen to come in.
Yeah.
Tie ball game, your team, all the momentum that you built throughout the ball game is now gone. You got to stop this Towson team who has found their stride here in the 5th.
So Alyssa Mint will now come to the plate for the Tigers once Lauren Hardy is ready to go. Hardy, a freshman from Blythewood, South Carolina, transfer from Indiana University.
Towson, you had to think that they would eventually wake up in the batter's box. A&T had built themselves a nice lead there. Tigers have erased it here in the 5th.
Mint will step in, first batter that Hardy will face. She'll take on the outside corner for strike 1 from Hardy.
2 outs here, so Hardy can come in and do her job. Start the bottom of the 5th.
This one lifted by Mint, back out to center, right at Catrell Williams, who will make the grab. But Towson has a monster offensive inning in the top of the 5th, and we are now tied at 5 here in Greensboro. Aggies will try to retake the lead when we come back in the bottom of the 5th, next on Flow.
Leading off for North Carolina A&T in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Bottom of the 5th inning here at the Aggie Softball Complex in Greensboro. We now have a tie game here in the bottom of the 5th. Cadence Williams back out on the mound for Towson. Williams gone 1 2/3 innings, has 4 strikeouts, and has surrendered just 2 hits so far. Destiny Sims Jaden James and Jamari Moss due up here for the Aggies. All three have at least recorded one hit so far today. Bottom of the Aggie order has been great in this one. Lifted by Sims out towards left field, going back, and it's over the head of the left fielder, Yaskowitz. Sims is on her way to third, and she is in there safe. It's a leadoff triple for Destiny Sims, and the Aggies are in business in the bottom of the fifth.
Elizabeth Yaskowitz was playing shallow out there in left. And Sims just lifts it, and that ball just keeps carrying. Yaskowitz can't get to it. And with the speed of Destiny Sims on third base, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Jaden James now will step in. Go ahead run at third. James swinging at the first pitch, fouls it off, out of play to the right side. 0-1 count.
Now A&T, after giving up that lead, looking to reclaim it here in the bottom of the fifth.
There's the 0-1. Misses inside. Count will even up 1-1. There's the 1-1. Misses high and outside, and the count now 2-1.
For Jaden James, you have a couple of options. Sacrifice flies an option. You got to hit it deep enough. Just want to bring home Sims.
2-1, fouled back there by James, and the count will even up now at 2-2.
Jaden James takes massive cuts.
Yeah, she does. Not shy about swinging the bat.
No.
1 for 2 on the day, and 291 on the season is James. 2-2, takes outside for ball 3.
Good stop there. Madison Peters, she tied it up with the homer. That prevents a run. Great catch there.
Here's the 3-2. Lifted into the infield. Ranging back in, able to make the grab from second there is Bonner. Sims will hold at third, and it's 1 away.
Ball didn't go far enough for Sims to risk it.
So Jamari Moss, who's 2 for 2 on the day, will step in now. Big spot here for Moss. And go ahead run is on third. The Aggies relinquish the lead in the top of the fifth. First pitch, outside corner there for strike 1.
Good pitch there from Williams. Again, Moss trying to lift it far enough into the outfield where Sims can scoot home from third.
Lifted by Moss, back out towards right field. Diving effort, and Kate make the grab. The go-ahead run will come in to score. Moss is into second with a double. And the Aggies lead 6-5 in the bottom of the fifth.
Jamari Moss said, I hear you. I'm not just going to sack fly. I'm going to shoot one in the right field for RBI double as
we may get
A&T showing that resolve.
We're going to get a pinch runner here for the Aggies, is what we're going to get. Moss on second.
Taylor Broadbent couldn't get to that one off the bat of Jamari Moss. Moss coming up big again for North Carolina A&T.
So coming into pinch run here for the Aggies is Aaliyah Lassiter, the freshman from Fremont, North Carolina.
Bringing in some more speed on the pads.
Now batting for A&T, the third baseman, number 7, Trinity Glover.
Trinity Glover now will step in. Glover 1 for 2 on the day. Takes outside for ball 1.
Chance here for Trinity Glover to come up with a timely hit.
That one fouled back. 1-1 count.
And they call it situational hitting in these moments of the ball game. You got a runner on second. Pinch running came in for a purpose. It's to fly around the pads. So Glover can shoot one in the gap.
Fouled back out of play again. Count will go to 1-2.
You see the freshman Pinch runner for the Aggies, Leah Lassiter.
Here's the 1-2. Comes inside and nearly got her. I don't know how that missed her.
If you're Trinity Glover, I know you don't want to get hit by a pitch, but you don't move out the way all of the way there.
Yeah.
Take one for the team.
But it grazed the jersey. 3-2 count.
You know, you move slightly, but you put that left leg a little bit out, you turn it a little bit aside, you might take it.
There was the replay there. I don't know how that missed her.
You take it on the thigh, you take first base.
3-2, and that one gets her looking for strike 3. And much to the dismay of the crowd and my partner, it's 2 away. That looked a little low.
That was favorable strike zone for sure. There
Take
you
another
see
look
on
at
the
it
replay.
here. Hey, yeah, way, that's down at the shoe tops. Foul
Again,
back.
we don't have the vantage point that the officials have there.
We're close.
That's a tough call for the Aggies.
0-1 count. Still a runner in scoring position for the Aggies. And it's now 2 away. Tyra Robinson, the leadoff hitter, fouls one back.
That out was monumental for Towson as well. You know, that's ball 4. You got 2 on now for A&T. Now you got 2 out, still 1 on second if you're Towson.
Robinson takes high.
Cadence Williams has relinquished that lead again for the Tigers, trying to get out of here. Just a 1-run deficit.
This one hit, slow roller to second, fielded cleanly and firing over to first in time, and that will end the bottom of the 5th inning. But the Aggies take the lead back. They lead 6-5 as we move to the top of the 6th inning. Next here on Float.
Aggies lead 6-5.
Top of the 6th inning here at the Aggie Softball Complex in Greensboro. Damian Banks, Ryan Stone here with you, and it's turned into a heck of a game so far, partner. 6-5 lead. Aggies in front as we move into the top of the 6th.
A&T solid defensively, no errors. Built the 5-1 lead. Towson erased it, but to the credit of North Carolina, A&T found a way to play the run there in the bottom of the 5th to regain the lead. It's that intestinal fortitude that old coach used to say that you have to have as an athlete.
Jaskowitz will step in to lead off here for Towson. Number 9 hitter in the order. Takes outside and low there for ball 1. Jaskowitz 1 for 2 on the day. The senior from Sayville, New York.
And Jaskowitz inserted into the starting lineup today. Towson tries to get the series win, but definitely in a dogfight with the Aggies.
Chopper hit towards third is just foul. I'm honestly not sure that was foul. Just watching it, I thought it maybe landed fair.
Again, we don't have the vantage point the umpires have.
That looked.
If you're a Towson fan, you're saying that's fair. If you're an Aggies, good call.
Here's the 1-1. Jaskowitz pulled back on the bunt attempt there to take strike 2. 1-2 count. Hardy with the 1-2. And got her swinging for strike 3. Big punch out there for Hardy.
Tailing away to the lefty. Good pitch there from Lauren Hardy.
Back to the top of the order now for the Tigers. Brianna Wright, who is 0 for 2 on the day. Squares the bunt and fouls it off. And that one hit off the, I think, the thigh area maybe of Robinson as she gets up to walk it off there real quick.
And Robinson making sure that she's okay. And Brianna Wright still looking for her first hit of this ball game. If I'm not mistaken, came into this series red hot for Towson.
Hitting 278 on the season is Wright. Takes it outside, and the count will go to 2-1. Wright, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs, 6 doubles, 3 triples. Dangerous bat, but has been pretty quiet so far here in Greensboro this weekend. Nobody on, 1 out. One lifted back out towards shallow right field, and routine fly ball caught out there by Williams, and it's 2 away.
Good pitch there from Lauren Hardy.
Now batting for the Tigers, the second baseman number 15, Kara Bonnie.
If you can get out of this inning, you go to the bottom of the 6th with the lead. Give yourself a chance to get a couple of insurance runs if possible. Aggies on the precipice of getting their first conference win.
Bonner will take on the outside corner there for strike 1. Bonner's been the best bat in the order so far today for the Tigers. She's 2 for 3. Here's the 0-1. Misses up a little, and the count will even up 1-1. Bonner waits the 1-1 here from Hardy. Hardy, foul back. That one came right back to her. 1-2 count.
Bonner late on that pitch from Hardy. Hardy coming in throwing gas here. So far, fresh on these latter innings.
Bonner awaits the 1-2. Hardy, this one chopped and gets fielded, throwing it across, but not in time. Close play there at first. Nice throw from short there that time by James. Just couldn't quite get it over there in time.
And James backhand stabs it. Makes a good throw over to first as Bonner reaches down low. Looked like a half swing there. Jaden James fires it over. Bang, bang, play. Bonner calls safe.
9th hit of the day for the Tigers. Aggies with 12. Tolan will take outside there for ball 1. Tolan 1 for 3 on the day, hitting 360 on the season.
For Towson scored 4 runs in that 5th inning. They only had 2 hits coming into the inning, so bats have picked up for the Tigers.
Here's the 1-0. Down in the dirt. Good block up there by Robinson to keep the runner at first.
And that's an understatement. And the block by Robinson. Get Bonner over the second, chance for Tolan to bring her home.
Here's the 2-0. Chopper hit towards third again, foul. 2-1 count. Runner on first, 2 outs here, top of the 6th. Aggies trying to hold on to a 6-5 lead, trying to win their first conference game of the year. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 2-2 count.
Pitch on the outer portion of the plate. Hardy.
Two again. Fouled off out of play to the right side. Tolman with 4 home runs on the year.
So you can't make a mistake to it.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. Don't leave it over the heart of the plate. There's the 2-2. Down low. That one gets away from Robinson, though, and that's going to allow Bonner to move into scoring position. And that puts even more pressure on this full count pitch.
Again, full count. First base is open, so you don't want to make a mistake for Towson.
There's the 3-2. This one driven back out towards right center field. It's going to land and roll to the wall. A tying run is going to come in to score, and Towson has tied the game at 6 here in the top of the 6th. Towson just keeps hitting.
Towson made the adjustment at the plate. This pitch on the outer half of the plate. Towson extends the bat head, shoots it into right center. And I'm not saying that the run wouldn't have scored from first, but that ball that got away from Robinson.
Yep. Looms large now. Tied at 6. That was the 26th RBI of the season for Towson. She also has 9 RBI. Francic now will step in. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Francic chops towards third. That'll make it through into left field. Sims comes up with it. Great urgent play charging in there that time by Sims. That'll keep Towson at third. So runners on the corners with 2 outs.
Sims definitely prevented a run there, charging that base hit.
Kanisi is 2 for 2 on the day. Go-ahead run is on third with 2 outs. First pitch on the outside corner there to Kanisi for strike 1.
Well, Hardy now, pressure situation for the youngster.
Here's the 0-1. Catches the outside corner for strike 2.
Good pitch again from Hardy. It's Kanisi not liking what she's seeing. Hadn't swung the bat yet.
Hardy, the 0-2. Chopper hit towards first is foul. Count will stay at 0-2. Six game in the top of the 6th.
And Lauren Hardy here with the 0-2 count. You got a couple of pitches to play with. Isabella Kanisi.
Here's the 0-2. Lifted, foul again, out of play to the right side. Kanisi having to swing at anything close with the count at 0-2. Hardy with the 0-2. Kanisi pops this one up, and that one is going to land just out of play. Thought you were going to get your souvenir there initially, didn't you?
Never. It looks like. Looks like that's not going to happen ever.
Count is still 0-2 to Kanisi. Game tied at 6 here in the top of the 6th. Go-ahead run on third for the Tigers. Here's the 0-2. This is high for ball 1.
Good snag there by Tyler Robinson.
One-two count. And that one down in the dirt. Tyra Robinson with a great play to keep that one in front. Runner from first does go to second, but the runner at third stays put.
That's the most important part. The runner on third stays put as Robinson saved another run there.
Here's the 2-2. This one lifted down the right field line. Williams ranges over and makes the grab. The Aggies limit the damage, but the Tigers tie the game again here in the 6th inning. We're tied at 6, heading to the bottom of the 6th, next here on Flow.
Vaughn, why did you decide to come to A&T? How does it make you feel when people say that this is a second-class institution, academically?
A second class?
You are the first black woman in the history of this country to build a billion-dollar company.
I do not honor the woman because it was a journey traveled by many along with me.
It's easy to forget that before they were known as heroes, they were young people just like all of you.
Into the bottom of the 6th inning here at the Aggie Softball Complex in Greensboro, tied at 6. Towson has now rallied 2 innings in a row. They scored 4 in the top of the 5th to tie the game at 5. Aggies responded with a run in the bottom of the 5th to take the lead. And now Towson has responded with a run in the top of the 6th to tie the game at 6. Putting down the bunt there is Williams, and the throw to first is not in time.
So Leah Williams has gotten really good at laying down that bump with all that speed.
Leah Williams able to get herself on there with the bunt. She's now 3 for 4 on the day. That'll bring Cottrell Williams to the plate.
Now a chance for Cottrell Williams to come up big again for A&T.
Williams squares to bunt. Runner on the move. The throw not going to be in time. So Williams no longer needs to bunt. The go-ahead run in scoring position and no outs for the Aggies.
And that's what happens when you get speedy base runners on. And be aggressive on the pads.
Squares again, actually, does Williams. And that time, though, takes strike 1. 1-1 count. Williams to Williams, and Williams puts down the bunt right with a nice snag, charging in from third, gets the out at first, but Williams does move Williams to third.
Decisive play by Brianna Wright there at third. If you don't charge that, Cottrell Williams is going to be safe as well, but it does move Aaliyah Williams over to third, so a deep fly is going to bring Williams home. The Aggies will reclaim the lead.
Ayanna Mears is 1 for 3 on the day as she steps in with 1 out and the go-ahead run on third. Mears takes on the inner half there for strike 1.
Aggies are, you mentioned it a couple times, trying to get that elusive first conference win.
This is high. Count evens up 1-1 here to Mears.
They can pull this off. Have earned it here at home.
Williams with the 1-1. Mears swinging through on the pitch out of the zone for strike 2.
Good pitch there by Katie Williams.
It's a 1-2 count now to Mears, trying to bring in the go-ahead run. Mears takes outside. The count evens up at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning. Aggies trying to retake the lead. Here's the 2-2, and high and in for ball 3.
Back you off the plate pitch there from Candace Williams.
Mears back in for the 3-2. Swings and just gets a piece of it to keep herself alive.
Mears there. Aggressive swing, just gets a piece of it. John Travolta staying alive.
Back into await the 3-2. Runner on third, 1 out. Popped up into the infield, and it's a routine grab from short from Minton. That was the last thing you wanted if you were the Aggies, and it's now 2 away.
Cadence Williams wins that battle. Diana Mears, but Aggie still chance here. Bring home this runner from third base and break the scoring tie.
So Lauren Hardy will get her first at bat of the game in a huge spot. Go ahead run on third, 2 outs. Hardy takes inside for ball 1. Hardy hitting .278 on the season.
Hardy gave up the lead there. Be fitting if she can get it back for the Aggies.
Hardy takes inside again for ball 2. 2-0 count now to Hardy. Takes the outside corner pitch there for strike 1. 2-1 count. This is outside for ball 3. It's a 3-1 count.
That was a good snag there from Peters.
There's the 3-1. Takes on the inside corner for strike 2, and it's now a full count to Hardy. Go ahead run on third. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Aggies trying to win their first conference game of the season. Here's the 3-2. Hardy just gets a piece.
And when you say just gets a piece, I mean literally.
Back in to await the 3-2 here from Williams. 3-2 delivery. Popped up, back out of play. Count still at 3-2.
Lauren Hardy staying in the fight. Cadence Williams come up with a big out here. Keep this ball game tied up.
3-2 misses low and in for ball 4, and that'll put runners on the corners with 2 outs. And now Destiny Sims will come to the plate. Sims is 2 for 3 on the day and hitting .321 on the season. And we're going to get a mound visit here to have a discussion with Williams before Sims bats.
You got a good batter coming up for A&T, someone who can leg out, throws, could potentially drive home these 2 Aggies base runners, hitting something in the gap. Big moment in this ball game. Again, Towson trying to win the series today. You get this win today, at the very least you win the series.
Yep.
Aggies searching for that elusive Coastal Athletic Association win.
You certainly want to win the series if you're Towson, but I mean, you even have the incentive to, go for the sweep tomorrow because of conference standings implications. If you could go from, 4-5 this weekend to 7-5 with a sweep,
it makes everything look so much better because you got the Campbells of the world near the top of the conference. Campbell 8-2, Delaware 8-2, Elon 8-2, then Charleston sits at 7-3. Then you have a bunch of 5-5 teams, UNCW, Towson, and Stony Brook, as well as Monmouth. So come out of this series with a sweep that could move you up in the standings.
Sims steps in. She will take ball 1. 1-0 count. Sims trying to drive in the go-ahead run. Runners on the corners, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Sims takes high, and that will bring another runner into scoring position as the runner from first.
That's not
Hardy
too
goes to
bad.
second.
Better to be in scoring position than a runner scoring. That ball gets away from catcher Madison Peters. Williams is going to score from third for A&T.
Here's the 2-0 to Sims. Catches the outside corner for strike 1. 2-1 count to Sims. Trying to put the Aggies back in front.
Wright hugging that third base line, preventing.
Sims fouls one back out of play.
A slap attempt for Sims.
Count evens up at 2-2 with that one. And runners on second and third, 2 outs. Here's the 2-2. Sims pops one up that's going to land just out of play. Or no, it actually did stay in play.
The right had a chance.
Yeah. I lost sight of the ball there for a second as it was coming down, and I thought it just went over the fence. Here's the 2-2 now to Sims. Runners on second and third, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. Sims drives one back out towards left center field, and a running catch by Kanisi to rob Sims and the Aggies. Game will stay tied at 6, which will move to the top of the 7th next on Flow. Top of the 7th inning here in Greensboro, still a tie game. Damian Banks, Ryan Stone here with you. We are knotted at 6. The Tigers coming to the plate in the top of the 7th inning. And we're going to get a pinch hitter here for Towson. Casey Benton is going to step in to bat here for the Tigers. She's hitting .320 on the season. She'll bat for Taylor Broadbent.
Benton coming in trying to break this tie, get it started at the very least for Towson. Aaron Hardy still out there in the circle for A&T.
Benton with some pop in the bat, too. 3 home runs, 13 RBI, and that's in limited opportunities. Just her 16th game that she's seen action in. Pitch misses low for ball 1.
Benton, freshman, Bordentown, New Jersey.
Hardy with the 1-0. Swing and a miss there from Benton. Count evens up.
Benton trying to hit that one to Bordentown with that swing.
A 1-1 count from Hardy to Benton. This one chopped towards short. Fielded clean that time by James. Fires it across in time, and it's 1 away. Ground ball out there for the Aggies to start off the top of the 7th.
If you're an A&T fan, you hold your breath on these ground balls, the infield, but very solid in this ball game today. After having 6 errors in game 1, tighten that ship up today.
Peters steps in now. She's 1 for 2 on the day. Takes high there from Hardy for ball 1.
Tense moments here in Greensboro. Chance in that bottom of the 6th for the Aggies, but Williams able to deny A&T the go-ahead run.
Count now 1-1.
A big bat for Peters. I've had that 2-run blast for Towson.
This is outside, and it's now 2-1 to Peters. There's a 2-1. Peters chops one towards short, fielded clean by James, and she goes down to a knee and still makes the throw. That could have easily disrupted the throw, as she did not mean to go down to a knee on that one. But it's 2 away.
They lost their footing to Jaden James after securing the ground ball from one knee. Fires it over to get Madison Peters at first.
So Alyssa Mitt now will step in. She's 0 for 3 on the day. Nobody on, 2 outs here, top of the 7th. Hardy pops one up. That might be about as close as you ever get to a souvenir there, partner. Count 0-1.
It's getting close. It's getting close.
That was about 10 feet to the right of us.
I'm going to get one.
Nobody on, 2 outs. Here's the 0-1. Misses outside. And the count evens up at 1-1.
Lauren Hardy trying to get the ball back over to her offense with a chance to walk it off. Get through Alyssa Mint first.
Here's the 1-1. Down in the dirt there for ball 2. 2-1 count. Nobody on, 2 outs. Hardy with the 2-1. This is low, and the count now 3-1. And nobody on, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Nick ahead in the count, 3-1. Hardy checks the wristband, comes with it. Misses low for ball 4. That's her first walk. It puts a runner on here for Towson with 2 outs.
If you're the Aggies, 2 out walks or hits. Been a bad omen for you. See if they can reverse that trend. Still okay if you're Lauren Hardy.
So now Yaskowitz, the number 9 hitter in the order, who's 1 for 3 on the day, will step in. Hits a chopper towards third, bobbled, and it's the first error of the game for either team. And now it's runners on first and second with 2 outs. And the pressure starts to mount a little bit. Back to the top of the order with Brianna Wright.
And the defense had held up so well for A&T in this ball game. Trinity Glover has made a couple of good plays from her third base position, just bobbles it on a transition.
Wright is 0 for 3 on the day. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back out of play. 0-1 count. Back in to await the 0-1 delivery. Hardy, this one lifted back out towards right center field, ranging over, jumping grab at the wall out in center field by Cottrell Williams. A potential game-saving catch for the Aggies. It keeps us tied at 6 as we move to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Aggies will try to walk it off when we come back on Flo College. Some firefighters in attendance here at the Aggie softball complex this afternoon. Not a bad way to spend the shift, I guess, if you don't have anything going on. Game tied at 6 here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Aggies will try to walk it off for their first conference win of the year.
So you mean to tell me that Chicago Fire is fake? They're not always getting calls?
Well, Chicago Fire's a little bit bigger city. Chicago's in a little bit bigger city.
Okay.
Swing and a miss there
I
for
could have
James.
swore Severide and them, they stay getting the call.
I've been told and I've seen a little bit that firefighters are either fighting fire or grocery shopping.
Oh, wow.
One count, this is high and in, and the count evens up 1-1.
Stop.
I'm dead serious.
Because I swear.
I see them at the grocery store all the time.
I swear I go to Harris Teeter.
Yep.
Wherever, Whole Foods Public, you're going to see some firefighters.
Yep. 1-1 count. This one fouled back. Count goes to 1-2.
Jaden James trying to end it with one swing. He has the power to do so. So if you're Candace Williams, you got to be precise with your pitch location.
Jaden James 1 for 3 on the day. Jamari Moss, who's 3 for 3 on the day in the on-deck circle. James swings, drives one out towards right center field. It will drop in. James will try to stretch for 2. Going to be a close play, and she is safe. James with a leadoff double here in the bottom of the 7th.
Jaden James, the youngster, coming up big for the Aggies. I said that Candace Williams could not make a mistake. Left one over the plate. Finds a spot between right and center field.
Give James a lot of credit. That showed a lot of speed there. I think I was a little nervous for her when she decided to try to go for 2 there after that ball was played off the hop by Kanisi. Moss will step in and take ball 1.
Well, we said it, scared money don't make money.
That's
if you
true.
want to get your first win, you're gonna have to earn it.
Jamari Moss maybe having her best game of the season so far. She's 3 for 3 on the day. 1-0, check swing. It comes right back to the pitcher, and it's another out you don't want. Williams has just been able to get these Aggie hitters in tough spots to swing at bad pitches, and has gotten some easy outs because of it, and it's 1 away.
How often do you see that? Try to get a check swing, pops it up to the pitcher. My mama said nothing in this world worth having comes easy. Not going to be easy for A&T.
Trinity Glover will lift one back out to left field. That one is back, and it is gone! Trinity Glover walks it off in the bottom of the 7th for the Aggies, and A&T will get to celebrate their first conference win of the season. For Trinity Glover, that is her 5th home run of the year. The Aggies get the win, 8-6 here in Greensboro.
Trinity Glover says, eyes tied, boss. I'm ready to go. One swing, a no-doubter from the big bat of Trinity Glover.
And put that big A&T chain on her, and A&T is going to get their first conference win of the year as they walk it off here in Greensboro over Towson, 8-6. A&T gets their 8th win of the season overall. They are now 1-10 in conference play, and they force a pivotal Game 3 tomorrow, winner take all in terms of the series.
And when you get one, it could become a snowball effect. Let's see how both teams react to this ball game tomorrow. A&T definitely is going to have momentum. Can Towson regain their focus and take the series, or will the Aggies not only get their first win, but win their first conference series this season?
It'll make for an interesting game, that's for sure. First pitch will come your way tomorrow at noon here from the Aggies softball complex. Again, Trinity Glover delivers the walk-off 2-run bomb, and A&T gets the win 8-6. For my partner Damian Banks, I'm Ryan Stone. Thank you for watching our coverage of CAA softball on Flow.